May is here. It is clear that summer is just around the corner. I mean, this is the month where we kick off summer. And you know what that means. The first of the month, what do? What do we show up for? What do we put Junior in a timeout for? What do we send little Charlie out in the backyard to start digging weeds for? The Fast Five. 5 skincare products that I've been using, testing out, putting through the ringer over the past month, and my final thoughts, consensus. And this month, you guys are in for a treat because it is all things discoloration. Redness, dark spots, stuff intended to tackle that. Now, when it comes to, well, summer, skin, discoloration, not destroying your skin barrier, all things skin health, you guys already know you need to be protecting your skin from the sun. So this past month, I went back on a train that led me to a town of frustration, and that is the Melasil train. You'll recall back in July 2024, I told you guys all about La Roche-Posay Mela B3 line, the sunscreen, the face wash, the serum. And after that video, I put Melasil to rest because my chief complaint was that the fragrance in those products was so headache inducing. What the heck is Melasil, Mela B3? Melasil is an ingredient that has been 18 years in the making, owned by L'Oreal, and it's an ingredient that is thought to work by disrupting incorporation of precursors into melanin pigment, ultimately helping to put the brakes on hyperpigmentation. So it's for those of you out there looking to address dark spots, not redness, dark spots. When it comes to fading dark spots, you've got to be doing the sun protection too. Otherwise, these ingredients not doing you any favors. And when it comes to addressing redness, you also need the sun protection. Plus, remember, sunscreen is a moisturizer, helps reduce water loss, limits skin irritation. But like I said, I was annoyed by the strong fragrance in the Mela B3 line. It kind of was a little headache inducing, and fragrance for a lot of people ends up causing skin irritation. So I had to give Kiehl's a try. I bought this Auto Tone Discoloration and UV solution, SPF 30 with Melasil and niacinamide, which together are great ingredients for dark spots. No fragrance in this whatsoever. And I'm frustrated to tell you guys that I actually really like the way it looks on the skin. Why does that frustrate me? It's got the ingredient that I was interested in, and it's fragrance free, and I like the way it looks. Like, what's to complain about? I'll tell you what's to complain about. This is like 54, 55 bucks, depending on what retailer you purchase it from, which I think is highway robbery for an SPF 30 non-water resistant daily facial moisturizer. Now I get it, Melasil, you know, it's just coming of age, so to speak, to be included in products. All right, it is an adult in the skincare ingredient lifespan. It's been in the baby stages behind the bench all these years. Maybe it's an expensive ingredient to formulate into products or whatever. I just think that this is cost prohibitive, and we need more options with Melasil that don't have the strong fragrance. The La Roche-Posay line, the Mela B3 line, not cheap either, and it comes with that headache inducing fragrance. All I had to say, this looks great on the skin, it offers what I was looking for, and it doesn't have fragrance, but that price point, get out of here. Get out of here, Kiehl's. I don't know what, you know. You think now that you're in airports everywhere, we go into LaGuardia. LaGuardia's gotten a whole facelift, whole shopping section dedicated to Kiehl's, all bougie in there. And you think just because you've revived LaGuardia that you can be charging us $55 for an SPF 30? Get back to the bench. Figure out how to make that less expensive, please. All right, those of you who have redness prone skin, especially with the summer months, the heat, the humidity, sometimes heavy moisturizers, they are just not your friend. They may precipitate more redness, or maybe you've got some barrier issues going on, contributing to the redness, contributing to irritation, contributing to discoloration, dark spots. What to do? Like I said, sunscreen, which you should be using every single day, is a moisturizer. Sometimes people need a little burst of hydration, soothing properties. So I got to give a shout out to this, kind of at the halfway point here. The packaging reminds me actually of amoxicillin. Who else sees amoxicillin when you see this? Maybe from a distance, overlay a pink filter on it, and you're like, what am I getting out of school? So this is from the brand Celax. First Celax product I've ever tried. I was drawn to this. I wanted to try it out because I like milky toners, but a lot of them are misses for me. They don't quite work out. I really like that this is a simple formula. It has ceramides, and it's a really nice non-oily emulsion. Feels like a soothing, hydrating, thin filmed lotion. Doesn't dry, filmy, or cakey. It's like a perfect burst of hydration. Plus it has this peptide, which probably is improving water retention in the skin. The peptide's called Aquatide or Aquatid, and this peptide allegedly is going to help stimulate autophagy pathways in which cells basically eat damaged organelles, eat themselves, sort of like a recycling repair pathway. That's the most simplistic description of autophagy. It gets kicked off in a variety of settings, but allegedly this peptide kind of, is sort of guiding your skin to do that, to repair perhaps from oxidative stress, from environmental aggressors. Whether or not it actually does that, I'm skeptical, but at any rate, we already know that peptides do help improve water content in the skin. This peptide has been shown to reduce transepidermal water loss, improve the water content, and help with skin hydration. Great. Really have liked this as the first step. I've been using it a lot in the morning, like especially if I don't feel like washing my face, but I want a little bit of something there. I don't typically use a moisturizer first thing in the morning. I really liked this just to kind of prep my skin. If you're going to use a serum on over it, it's a great option as well. Speaking of serum, those of you with redness and or discoloration, Peach Slice's Super Fade. I reviewed this for you guys, but if you missed the review, because I'm seeing a lot of comments in my blogs where I'm using this and you guys are like, whoa, what is that? So this has licorice root, of course, good for redness, as well as the moisture barrier, soothing the skin, and good for discoloration. It also has kojic acid in it though, an underrated dark spot corrector that chelates copper, which is necessary for the enzyme tyrosinase, which is responsible for making that melanin pigment. Kojic acid is great. And it also has cetyltranexamate mesylate, which is a form of tranexamic acid. Now, tranexamic acid applied to the skin, there's not a lot of research behind it, but what we do know is that A, it appears to improve the moisture barrier, so it may help reduce irritation that otherwise exacerbates both redness and discoloration. And it has actually been shown clinically to help quite a bit with post-inflammatory erythema and facial redness associated with rosacea. Plus, this has 4.5% niacinamide, good for both redness and hyperpigmentation. Hyperpigmentation specifically, it has a unique mechanism in that it disrupts the transfer of pigment from the pigment-producing cells and melanocytes to the surrounding skin. So you've got like different pathways being addressed in terms of hyperpigmentation in this one lightweight, hydrating, fragrance-free, affordable serum. I mean, what's not to love? It's great. Plus, it's got compounds from centella, botanic extracts, which are soothing and anti-inflammatory. This is like under, like around $11, which I think is a great price, especially these days, because I mentioned this in a vlog recently. I've noticed that a lot of my go-to recs for skincare, like the drugstore brands, the going rate is like $14 to $22, $25 these days, which back in 2016, $25 was like, are you kidding me for a drugstore product? But now it's just like, a lot of these fast fives have been singing the praises of some stuff from a bib. A bib has yet to disappoint me. My gateway into a bib was actually a sheet mask of all things, something I don't really use. During the lockdown, I discovered in a bib sheet mask. I was like, wow, this is a sheet mask that actually has been impressive. Didn't really repurchase it or anything like that. Then I encountered their barrier jelly, which I will not shut up about the barrier jelly. It's so good as a skin protectant, glycerin, great for sensitive cheeks. Then last month, I discovered and I'm still using their sun stick. Yeah, me, a sunscreen stick, but this one outperforms many other sunscreen sticks because of the shape, the ease of application. I mean, I talk about all the excellent features about it. So I saw this, the glutathione dark spot serum, and I'm, as somebody who's always got my eyes peeled for what's the latest with the dark spot correctors, because when it comes to skincare ingredients, fading dark spots, you've got a lot of cosmetic ingredients that can be particularly helpful. So this one was interesting. I'll be honest, a big reason why I was drawn to it is not just, oh, a bib, oh, dark spot serum, but honestly, these little spheres, you can already see, look how much I've used of it already. It's got these little spheres that are loaded with antioxidants, which can help defend against oxidative stress that contributes to redness and discoloration. What are the antioxidants? Well, niacinamide, good for dark spots, redness, also has glutathione, an antioxidant, and ascorbic acid, that personality disorder of a skincare ingredient that's not stable, has issues penetrating, formulation. I don't know if the ascorbic acid in this is formulated to meaningfully enter the skin, but it does have the unique sphere thing to deliver, which perhaps contributes to overall stability. I don't know, because we don't have a lot of papers on that kind of thing. But it does have ferulic acid, another antioxidant, which has been shown to be helpful for ascorbic acid stability. So you have that in there, and one of the things that I hate about ascorbic acid as a antioxidant in topicals is that it oxidizes, and I find it irritating and stains the skin. I have not experienced that with this whatsoever. And it's like, I bought this not even realizing it had ascorbic acid in it. I bought it because I was drawn to all the things that I mentioned. Plus it's like, oh, glutathione, an antioxidant I really like. Let's try this out. But it does have ascorbic acid in there. I'm not getting that oxidation, that orange discoloration that can happen. It doesn't have a funky smell like hot dog water. It does have some other forms of vitamin C which are stable and may get into the skin, but whether or not they do what you're looking for from vitamin C from ascorbic acid remains to really be addressed. Long story short, I have simply adored using this. It's very hydrating, it's very lightweight, it's great to use in the morning because put it on, it absorbs down in the skin, dries down, it doesn't have any kind of filminess to it, and then sunscreen layers on over this perfectly. So that pairing together, you know, the antioxidants plus the UV protection, it's like a great defense against the environmental aggressors, ultraviolet radiation, pollution, all that stuff that will exacerbate dark spots and redness. And with the summer coming up, I mean, maybe you're already doing this already, you're going to likely want to be spending more time outside, whether it be going to the beach, the park, whatever. Summer is a time people like to be outside. So this is a great summer hydrator with some antioxidant defense on there. All right, last but not least, when it comes to dark spots, redness, sensitive skin, here we're getting into people who have sensitivity, like a lot of the jazzy ingredients that can help, the cosmetic ingredients that can help with discoloration. Maybe they burn, they sting, they end up irritating your skin, and irritation ultimately can worsen both redness and hyperpigmentation. So you're like, what do I do? What do I do? Well, I don't want to try every single thing out there only to get burned. So I've talked about this ingredient a lot. I have a lot of videos about it. It's a prescription ingredient, and at prescription strengths, it can be particularly helpful. It's approved to treat at a prescription strength to treat rosacea, acne, melasma, but it's generally well tolerated. Can be a little drying, but it has other benefits. It very, very mildly exfoliates the skin to help remove buildup, and it also is anti-inflammatory. It helps combat both hyperpigmentation and redness, but like I said, it's typically well tolerated by those who have sensitive skin. The epitome of sensitive skin is going to be rosacea, and it's a rosacea treatment. Stuff that you buy without a prescription, that's cosmetic formulations. Not the same strength, but can still be helpful. Still be helpful. You know, I wouldn't lean on them necessarily to treat any skin condition. That's not what cosmetics are for, but can have a supporting role in your skincare needs when it comes to discoloration. And that is azelaic acid. I have recommended numerous azelaic acid products over the years. I've tried out a ton. Some of my favorites are the Paula's Choice Azelaic Acid Booster that has licorice root and salicylic acid. So that's great for those of you with acne prone skin that heals with a dark mark. Also, The Ordinary has an azelaic acid suspension. They were one of the first brands actually that I ever encountered doing azelaic acid in the US market. I don't know that they were the first, but they were the first brand that I ever encountered doing azelaic acid, so much so that I was like, is this even legit? There's now a wider array of options out there, and the Korean skincare game, they are not sleeping. Not only are they not sleeping, but they're pulling all-nighters, and somehow they do not get drowsy. They don't get loopy, all right? They don't get loopy at the bench. So APLB is a brand, a Korean brand, sunscreen and body wash I have raved about with glutathione. Speaking of glutathione, I talked about these products and various other Fast Five. So they had azelaic acid, a cream with azelaic acid, and I had to try it because a lot of people who deal with redness and dark spots, they've got an underlying barrier issue going on. They're looking for a moisturizer. How to go about incorporating azelaic acid with your moisturizer? Why not just use a moisturizer with azelaic acid that might serve your needs depending on what your needs are and your whole skincare routine. So APLB's azelaic acid peptid facial cream. This is a really nice azelaic acid formula. Very hydrating, very soothing. It has a rice extract, which I love, very soothing and supportive. Saccharomyces ferment, laden with hydrating compounds, soothing anti-inflammatory properties. A fragrance-free, non-greasy cream. Works well as a nighttime facial moisturizer. I've tried this during the day as well because azelaic acid is one of those ingredients that you can use multiple times a day. You could technically use it like 3 times a day if you tolerate doing that and have the time and bandwidth to do that, although most people it's like twice a day is even asking a lot. So I tried it a couple of times in the morning just to see how it performed under sunscreen. No problem. Didn't get any pilling, even with alcohol-based sunscreens, which oftentimes don't cooperate with rich creams. Not at all. So this is nice, and it's not super heavy. heavy at all, but it's thicker than some of these hydrating toners and serums. So I thought they did a really good job with this, and I've rather enjoyed using it. And one thing about azelaic acid too that bears mention is it may be particularly beneficial, and maybe even why honestly it works for rosacea, because it's got some antimicrobial properties, and whether it be that or its exfoliating effects, it helps perhaps to cut down on those little Demodex mites, which play a role in rosacea and little red bumps. Demodex are pesky, so this, you know, can be helpful in that regard. All right, y'all, that was the month of May. Flew by. Lots of stuff coming at you guys, and I've got this face. I only have one face, but we put it to the test here. We put it to the test and we try stuff out and report back. Let me know in the comments though, have you guys tried any of these things? What was your experience? Share in the comments, because that makes a big difference. You know, I am just one experience opinion. Yes, I can speak to the ingredients, what they do, who might benefit from them, but your testimonies are also super helpful to this community, because it gives some people, you know, more information, you know, as far as consumer experience. Anyway, y'all, on the end slide, I'm actually going to put my recent video comparing the Kiehl's SPF 30 with Melasil to La Roche-Posay's SPF 30 with Melasil. So check that out if you missed it. But if you guys enjoyed this one, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.